Hello guys and girls, me Melanie here, welcome back to another video again. How you doing today? Me Melanie here, welcome back to another video again. Finally, we got the VTuber fast, we got the VTuber face back. I'm sorry about the delay because my laptop has been having problems. Also, my house, not house, I'll say apartment, basically my home right now. I've been having problems with the AC, so it's been really hot. So I found out why my computer broke down. One of the reasons why my computer broke down, guys and girls, is literally because it was so hot to the point that my computer, literally, the fan just stopped working. No wonder my fan stopped working. I thought maybe originally I thought the computer was broken, that it was dead. But I realized that it was actually overheating because I think it was May or June. I think it was around June. It was just so hot that my phone broke. Well, my phone's still working, obviously, but it's just my computer. My computer just literally, it was too hot. I don't know how the CPU is still alive. I don't know how it's even alive. Because if this computer would have broke, I would have been screwed, Because like he had to play something now. Like I have the money, but it's by my state benefits. I can't buy like a computer easily. No, because I don't really have a job right now. But one, I'm trying to situate in. And I do YouTube so for funsies, and if I lose that, I would be devastated. So we're back. We can relax your anus. Because my computer is back. Everything's good. Hopefully, because I have a meeting tomorrow. Hopefully, I didn't fuck anything up. Tomorrow. I'm sorry, cursing, mom. But everything's good for now. I have a meet on Google the 14th. Tomorrow I have therapy tomorrow, which is good. And also now tomorrow I have therapy. Then on the 14th I have what's it called? On the 14th I believe I have what's it called? Oh, I'm meeting with Google. So I'm actually meeting with Google to tell my content, which is pretty exciting. Like, thank God about the bracelet. Thank God about the lucky bracelet because that's been really helping. I can't show you on camera because it's a VTuber thing, but you can see on camera that I have the lucky bracelet. It helped me. It's luck. So, that's pretty exciting. Let me just give a round of applause because now my computer's working. It's great and it's great. It's great. Let's get to the video. Yeah, that's right. Everything's working really good, which is pretty exciting. And I'm pretty excited for the future, That is right, guys. Also, thank you for the 24 subscribers. I don't know how many subscribers we have on the... Let's see how many subscribers we have on the music channel. Because I remember last check, it was like 24 subscribers on the music channel. Like, I'm surprised it's even blowing up, to be honest. Because I didn't even expect it to blow up on the music channel. Because I didn't think it was possible. Let me see how much now. Oh, yeah, 24. By the way, thank you for 24 subscribers on the music channel. Like, it means a lot to me. Like, I didn't think it would grow up. Well, my main channel, it was so slow to grow. But my music channel, for some reason, it's growing fast. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm making good content. Maybe I'm making the most addicted nicotine drug. I'm joking. I'm joking. YouTube is not bad, but thank you very much. Very great. And also thank you for 140. Let me see how many subscribers on my main channel. Make sure it's good. Thank you for 147 subscribers on the main channel. We're approaching 150 subscribers. Let's hopefully at least get to 200 subscribers. I mean, it's optional. But let's get to at least 200. I'll say 200 subscribers on the main channel. By the end of the year, if we can. Now, by next year, by 2025, by 2024, I want to reach at least 1,000 subscribers if we can. Now, if not, let's do 500, which is good. But I'm gonna bump it up to 1,000. And let's get at least 1,000 subscribers by the end of next year. By next year, so hopefully that comes true because lately it's been really hard to grow. But hopefully we grow. So everything's been great. I mean, I'm excited because a lot's been happening. I've been doing music. I've been focused on my music production, which has been helping, which is really cool. So yeah, I'm in the room. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully I get I'm just happy. However, despite being happy, I'm still in debt. Obviously, I mean, right now I'm not gonna talk about financial, but I'm still in debt due to obviously college. But I believe now I have more faith than before because let's look back in 2022, and this is gonna be mostly the video I'm gonna talk about. I'm gonna talk about like how 2022 was actually a lesson learned. It was actually interesting. It was the most stressful year, yes, but I learned a lot from 2022 despite being stressful. I basically exposed society. I mentioned that in probably a few of my videos, which didn't terribly. But I mentioned that in my video. Let me see when we get to notifications. Rosalina. I mentioned that in my video. It was pretty interesting. So let me stand clear to closing doors of this presentation. Yes, like I was saying though, yeah, like 2022 was very hectic for me. It was all bad. I mean, in the beginning it was good. Like for instance, I got my first the only good thing I could say about 2022 that happened, besides maybe changes, but it was really it was really like the beginning where like I got my phone, I got everything I wanted. Where I thought I had everything I wanted, but realized that I was missing a lot of stuff. One of the biggest problem with 2022, which it was just very negative. All of it was negative, and also it affect my mindset of people. Like I'm very careful who I talk to people now about what I talk about because I remember 2022. Oh man, I have a lot to say about that one. So I'm going to make it into a story time about 2022. How 2022 was just very stressful, very stressful. I would say I thought 2017 was the worst year. I mean, it still is to this day. It still tops it, but I think 2022 was different. It was just worse in a different level. Between the financial decisions, between like being in debt, being homeless. So I was argued that 2022 is actually worse than 2017. I thought 2017 was worse than 2022. At least when 2017, while it was bad, while emotion-wise it was trauma, it was bad. Actually, while in 2017 was bad when it comes to like Florida wise. Well, Florida's worse obviously when it comes to court. I argue that 2022 was actually even worse because at least in 2017 I wasn't really homeless. I could actually come back, which makes sense. This time I couldn't come back, so it's interesting to know. But also 2022 was also good too, which is interesting. In the sense of like opportunities, there was some like friends I met. The Google girl, who was far sexy by the way, she was far sexy. I mean, pretty incredible people. You know what I'm saying?
Hi, this message is from Matthew. This is Anne Mongello, the nurse practitioner with Jewish
Like
Board,
sexy, you know.
calling for your follow-up appointment. So I'll try you back in a few minutes. If there's any issues with scheduling for today, you can always call the clinic. Hope all is well. Bye.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, guys. But like, despite 2020 being very stressful, like, but you hear that voice? Damn, she's sexy, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I am a love mistake. No, no, no. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not in love. I'm just business, you know. Oh god. Oh god. Okay, let's continue. But yeah, like, damn, look at that voice. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, let's continue with that. But like I was saying though, like 2022 overall was just random. Like first it was random in the year. Like if I talk to my old past self of me, like, hey, this is gonna happen in 2022, I would think you're a lunatic. I would think you're a lunatic. But now looking back, it makes sense why 2022 was very stressful. Um, but yeah, today let's do. All right, I'm gonna do I'm gonna do. Well, I was gonna do a channel update about my life, but it's fine. But I'm gonna more talk about. I'm gonna do a story time about 2022 of how I was homeless at one point. Um, and now I'm in a better place now, but I'm slowly recovering. It was basically like I thought 2017 was bad. 2022 was worse than all. It was just everything. The year was better. At least 2017 was just one thing was bad. That was it. Like but 2022, it was just bad. I don't know how I survived that. All right, let's get. Now I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna go to the city hall station for a little bit. So let's go to the city. Let's go to my city hall station to explain of my life in 2022. So let's switch to City Hall Station. Let's switch to City Hall. Okay, so let me get my I forgot my VTuber face. No wonder I forgot my VTuber face. Hold up a second. Hopefully it's still recording. I think I messed up the video. Oopsie. Oh god, I forgot my VTuber face. I'm sorry about that. I am so sorry about that. Hold on a second. Let me pause this for a second. Because I didn't realize I forgot my VTuber face. No wonder. Let me get my. No, I don't want the Pixel. I want the VTuber. I want the VTuber. No, I can't. I don't want screen recorder. Oh god. Let me go back to. Oh god, I messed up the video. I messed up the video. I'm sorry. I messed up the stream. Originally it was gonna be 360, but it's fine. I'll probably edit it out of the video, or I'll leave it in. I don't know how bad is it. Window capture. That's what it was. So why did I mess this up? Okay, let me just swap. Yes, swap it. Okay, why is it? Oh, come on, bruh. This is ridiculous. Okay, I'm probably gonna edit this out of the video. I'm gonna try this again, cause I didn't realize this is. Oh god, I gotta start this again. Let me get chroma key. Jesus Christ. Okay, I think it was possible. Yes, close. Okay, I'm sorry about that. I'm gonna edit that out of the video because it was just terrible. I'm gonna edit. Whatever, you probably gonna see a cut because I had to cut the video, I probably edited that. Okay, I'm editing out the video. I'm still gonna do a video. I'm just editing out the video. Not a big deal. Yeah, this is me. So welcome to the City Hall Station. It's me. You already know it, as you can see me right there. That's me in my room in City Hall Station. Let's talk to my story time. Now the first story time I'll talk about is when I was 20. I think I was like 2022. So back in 2022. Oh, sorry about the burp. Back in 2022, in the beginning of 2022, it was like with New Year's. It was great, you know. I don't know where we celebrated New Year, but we celebrate somewhere. Let me make sure is my sound working, guys? I even the microphone turns off. Let me make sure my microphone's working because sometimes this microphone keeps disabling. Oh, come on, bullshit. No wonder it didn't work. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Okay, my microphone's now on. Yeah, my microphone keeps switching off, so you may hear different audio issues. I'm still recording this video. I'm sorry about that. No wonder. But like I was saying, though, back in 2022, back in 2022 was just awful. For instance, I remember the time that in 2022, for instance, I remember back in like I'll say in the beginning of 2022. I think it was the beginning. So this is what happened. So, I think it was I think I was in school. So during 2021, I was in school, showing with the Asians. You know, showing with the Asians, and we were saying in school. I was in SUNY Tech. I originally was going to go to SUNY Tech. So you see how it connects because now I'm in debt because of SUNY Tech. But if I didn't get to SUNY, I'd probably be not in debt. But it's fine. I'm not crazy in debt. It's like 2,000, not bad. I'll probably pay off if I get a job. Once I get the job, obviously, and luckily it don't goes up in fees, which is good. Which I like about SUNY, which despite being debt, not a big deal. I'm not into it. But like I was saying though, back in 2020, the beginning of 2022, I told you 2021, I was in school, showing the Asians, I'm saying, and one of the biggest problems, I was in school. See, here's the crazy part when I was in school. I'm gonna go back to 2021 because I know it's supposed to be posted on 2022. 2021. So originally 2021, I was supposed to, when I was supposed to be in school. I was supposed to be doing schoolwork. But the only reason why I was in school in college, well, school not high school. What I mean school was like college. The only reason why I was in college because I don't know. It just felt forced. I was basically forced, in my opinion. I didn't felt like I didn't know what I was doing with my life. I didn't know what I was doing. So to give advice to my either my younger self or my older self, or mostly my older self or my younger self, or mostly people, um, if you're in high school, I don't want to say don't like obviously don't drop out like high school. Get your degree, no, get your high school diploma. Obviously, do that, obviously. But once you get the high school diploma, I think that's what you need because really, if you look at most jobs, it's about experience. I'll give an example of this. I applied for Apple. You know, I applied for Apple. Um, I have a high school diploma, and it's more about experience. It's more about experience. High school diploma, yes, definitely need. I obviously don't like high school diploma. You need obviously because show education. But I think a college degree, like most companies now, it's like since now let's be honest, since the internet was made, you can probably learn anything online. Like for instance, this VTuber thing. This VTuber thing I'm doing. I taught myself how to do this, by the way. I just used Google and I made my VTuber thing. And it's crazy. I taught myself how to manage to chat with Google staff without having to work with Google. I don't work with Google. I'm more like I use Google services on their backend, like their cloud services, to make my own products, to make my own things, and sell it for a price. It's called starting a business. Well, even though my business is very successful, it's still working. I don't know how. But obviously, we're not making that much money, which makes sense because obviously right now I'm in a place where I can't work so much hours. I can't do too much hours, obviously. So that's why when I stated when my laptop broke, I was very concerned that like I had to get a job and then pay the that's why with this laptop I bought a laptop that's very durable purposely. So God forbid, like I say, it got I bought a durable laptop. So where even if I worst case breaks, I could probably it's easier to fix than most laptops. The newer laptops you can't really fix it, and also it has a USB drive custom made for it, so it's pretty cool. So I bought this laptop so I could be able to fix this stuff, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I like it. I love this laptop. But going back to the story, so 2021 came. I think I was graduating from Beyond the High School. Beyond the High School. Great year. I saw my friend Brandon live. Pretty cool. Brandon, he was. Um, I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about the burp. So Brandon, for instance, Jesus, sorry about the noise. So Brandon, for instance, was doing. I think he was like having. He had a he was just doing stuff. He was doing crazy. He was just doing like basic stuff. He was doing I don't know what it's called, but he was doing like. He was yeah. He was ready to go to Michigan State. So originally he was gonna go to Michigan State College. One of my friends back then, we was going to Michigan. Then he went to SUNY. Instead he dropped out, went to SUNY College. He's still currently in college. Obviously, he's still currently in college, right? I don't know. I don't. Maybe into college though. For me personally, I dropped out. It didn't work out. I know one of my teachers, Mr. Charles, Mr. Jackson, he probably gonna hate on me for dropping out, but I did the riskier move. I did the dumbest move, riskier breathing, and I started a business. Is it successful? Not the successful, but it's actually it's I like it. I think it's still good. I'm happy. I'm more actually. It's crazy. Despite being in debt and despite like losing everything in 2022, I'm actually more happier because I have like limited. I have a lot of limitations with resources, and I make an incredible product of it. There's a saying that there's a saying I like to say, and as I prefer dangerous freedom over peaceful slavery. The problem when I was back in 2021 is I was just following peaceful slavery. I was like, I should go to school. Well, I'm not going to rephrase it. I should go to college and get a degree in something that is useless. Originally because here's the thing. I realized the field I was in. I realized the field I was in, the field I was in, like the field I was in, like the what's it called? The field I was in was like I think it was like technology field. And the thing with technology field is you don't really. I mean, if you want to work for Google, obviously you need a degree. Maybe I don't know. Actually, even Google they require work experience. But like back then, you would need like a degree, for like technology. But nowadays, like with the internet, like I think I think colleges, like unless you be like a doctor or a lawyer, like I said, then you definitely need a degree. That's just my opinion, and it just works like that. But if you're doing like technology or plumbing, it's gonna be to the point, in my opinion, that technology would be like in these two jobs right here. So you have technology and plumbing. Especially plumbing. Plumbing, individual. If you work with your hands, it's gonna be high demand. Also like technology, in my opinion, is gonna be high demand. Just watch. Like if you look at everything, if you look at every product now. Sorry about my ears. If you look at everything, like let's say social media, websites, everything, like if you know how to make software, if you know how to make games, if you know how to like let's say like work with computers and fix things, like for instance, this computer I have here, I fixed this. This computer was having problems earlier. I fixed this. I fixed this computer. I support the right to repair. Is why I love Rosalind because I support the right to repair. I support net neutrality and I also support open source. Actually, no, rephrase that. Free software. Open source is good, but I prefer free software. So on my main system, for instance, here's a fun fact about that music I made on. It's called "Escaping the Matrix." That was actually made on a Linux machine. It was made on Arch Linux. I use Arch Linux to make that music. When I make music, it's based. I use Linux. Most people when they make music is they use like I think Mac, which has better drivers, but you could do it on any device in my opinion. Like I use Linux for everything. It's just Linux is awesome. Okay, first of all, you get freedom. You own everything. You own the product. You can modify it. It's just awesome too. To the point I made an OS called Malian OS, which you should check up below. I made an operating system based on Malian OS, which I use it for server usage and maintenance and just work good cloud. It's just awesome, and you can test Bar AI. I love Linux for that. It's just awesome. Like Linux, I think is a great competitor. Also, Linux is good too because I'm sorry to get off topic, but like I just use Linux for my business. It's just awesome. But it's going to come back to the topic I'm talking about, and that's 2022. For instance, 2022 has just been very stressful for me, very stressful. But back to 2022. But like after 2021, I was like, I didn't know what I was doing. Here's a great spot. Back then, I think I was using like proprietary Windows when I was in college. I didn't even know about Arch, And back in the day, I was like, I was the type of person where like, if I do something hard, then I should give up on it. Which I realized that's stupid in my opinion because let's be honest, 2022 was a lesson of learning hardships. I was doing everything difficult. So I think March started. Okay, so it was March, right? I think I got my financial return, what was it, tax return? I don't know if it was tax returns. I don't know what it was, but I think it was like some college returns, or I think it was tax returns or college returns. I don't remember what it was. Tax returns and got leftover money, and this was a gamble by the way. I used that money. Okay, I used this money to basically buy my Play Store. I used the tax returns about or what I don't know what it was or tax returns. I don't know what it was. I used that money to actually get a developer kit for the Play Store, and try to get something to and then at the same time I was trying to apply for Nintendo Developer Portal, which is also free, but you have to pay for development kit separately, which is good too. But you get access to tools. So I applied for Nintendo Developer Portal. I applied for I forgot, I missed this thing. I also applied for the Google business page with the business like exclusive content. I basically applied for every company to beta test to get like the access development tools. So the first company I applied originally when I made games for the apps for the Android, I used to like make it into an APK, and I used to use the Amazon App Store. Now I don't use Amazon no more. It's just like every time, for instance, like some of the games I've created on the I try to export the game from the Play Store to Amazon App Store, and they keep getting rejected like crazy. So I don't use Amazon App Store. It's just really trickier in my opinion. And you don't make money. You don't make money. So I went to the Play Store, and I basically what I took a gamble. Bought like I think $25 of I bought $25 developer kit for the Play console. Probably the best investment I ever made because that like the thing I like about Google in the Play Store is that you could just buy it once and you own it. You basically own it and you have control of it. Unless you get banned, like you're screwed. But overall, you're good. Like I have access. I can make a game. I can make a limited amount of games, which is good. So let's say God forbid I run out of money, I can still make games, which is really cool. The thing is, they take a cut when to make up some profit, but this is awesome. So I bought it. It was just worth it. It was definitely worth it. I don't regret that purchase. That was the best purchase. Then also I bought it. I forgot. I also bought the Microsoft developer kit. So if I want to make a game for the Xbox, I could do that. I bought that, but I really do that because the problem is it's proprietary. So I just make a reason. I don't know how to convert the X. It's proprietary, but it does work. Let's say I want, but back then, also this is before when Microsoft like started blocking emulation. Back then, you could actually run it on the Xbox. Like emulation was pretty cool. So I was just go buy Xbox to play emulator. But now like I don't do that. Now Xbox blocked it, so it's useless. So I just stick with my laptop, which I prefer. Like I said, I'd rather own everything, be happy. Then I bought, I think, what else I bought? I bought the Play console. I think I bought the micro, and I also bought like the Nintendo Developer Portal. Actually, no, I had to apply for I think the hardest one to apply for was probably the Nintendo Developer Portal. That was the hardest one to apply for, and I thought I was going to reject it because the thing with Nintendo, it's really rare to get accepted in that program. So that's why you noticed like I've been making games with the Switch, and I think what helped it too is I use Google Cloud to make like my games for the platform for the basically the platform. I think for the Google Cloud platform is cool, and I applied for it, and it worked. It worked out, and I don't know how it worked, but it actually worked. It was pretty cool, and I managed to get the 17 portal later on in the future 2022. But like what Matthew was saying, so 2022. After that, I think I was in school, but originally, like I said, I was. You know, it's crazy. If I would have stayed in school, I'd probably be working on a job I hate. Like I originally was going to fix things, and that was it. Please keep in mind too. This is during that time where I was not really sociable. Like I didn't really have any confidence in myself. I didn't really talk to people because I was really scared. Now look back. Now I just don't care. Not because I hate people. No, I do love people. I just really don't care because later turned into like there's a lot of people that hated me so bad that I just like I just don't care. Not because I hate people. It's just I really don't care. And I made it into a meme. So, but like I was saying, so yeah, so 2022 kids. I think it was March. I think it was April. I had a mental breakdown the first time. Okay, now be dead. Then the second time, I think it happened on the 6th. On the 6th or April, I had a really bad mental breakdown. It led to a big argument. I'm not getting into the story with mom. You saw the whole thing back then. And then I had to go. It had to legal process. It was annoying. The legal process. It was annoying. I had to go to some legal issues. I had to sue basically the state because it was just a mess. My mom sued the state because they thought I was a bad guy. They thought I was like the Antichrist, but really I wasn't. We won eventually, but that took like about months. I think it took like to September 7th. So I may do a holiday special against that to celebrate that. But back to what I was saying 2022. But however, there was a catch when I was in court, and that was that I had to basically I couldn't go back to the place I was in. I couldn't go back to the house I was in. So basically, I got kicked out. I technically got kicked out of the house. I mean, I can visit. I can still visit, but I can't live there. So I can't even live there, which sucks. So I had to move. I had to eventually move out, which was a big shocker. And basically, that's how. Basically, I'm gonna make a video how I expose society. Another time. But like I was saying, so during 2022, basically, I was basically homeless. I was basically. Now you may think, oh, you're homeless. So you were basically cream pie. I'm just let me rephrase it. You were having pee in the streets. I'm like, no, that's not what happened. What happened was like, I had no place to stay. So basically, I talked to my I don't know what it was. I was some government official, which oh god, don't do that. Well, I had to do it, but I talked to government officials because I had no hope. So I talked to some government officials, and then they said, oh, okay, we're gonna help you, and they found a place. I got lucky. I don't know how I survived that. I don't even know how I lucky. Like if I told this in my story, I'd probably sell billions of dollars of story. Like this probably could be an NFT. I'm joking. It's not gonna be an NFT, but I could probably sell billions of dollars in my story. But yeah, I was in the shelter during that time. So when I was in the shelter, I don't call the shelter more like a till, but to me, the atmosphere was like I wasn't in the shelter. I was in the till transition. It was called like a transition independent living, but it felt like jail. It felt like prison, not prison, but like it was just bad. It was like you had to get up early. You had to go to the drop and then go back to it. But we're gonna keep going. So during 2022, I think, yeah, I had to go. Well, first I had to go to this place. There was this lady. I was in the car. I think it was like a blue car. I don't remember what it was. A small mini car, small taxis. I was traveling, about like I think 70 miles per hour. I don't know. How it's supposed to be unlimited. We were in the car. It was some lady. The lady was like, "Oh, we were just talking." I was basically at my lowest moment. I lost so much confidence in myself. Um, that's like about 2022. Basically, 2022 it basically exposed my vulnerabilities. It made me stronger as a person. It made me stronger. It made me more confident because like if I could do that, I mean I could do anything. But that's what I was saying. But when I was in my lowest moment, my basically rock bottom. I was at rock bottom. Um, I remember this lady who was like, "Oh, you should go back to school. Do what you gotta do." But what she didn't realize is I have a business. I started a business called Malina. This is why I found Malina. So she didn't know I had a business. So I didn't tell her because I was really nervous to explain my business because I didn't know how people feel about it. But now I tell her. I tell everybody about my business. I don't care. I really don't care. I mean, sue me. I don't care. But now I tell everybody. I have my own record company. You know what I'm saying? And I have my But during that time, like I was just very like I was just really stressed. I was just really stressed. I was like I had like I don't know. It was really stressful. For instance, like I was so stressed that I was just like I don't know. I felt like I had to like I was really nervous. I was very nervous because like first I had a course situation, and then I was like I didn't know where I was going. So and I really missed my mom during that time. Like I still do obviously, but it was really stressful, and I felt bad. Right there, I was oh God, what's going to happen? I'm gonna go to hell. What? Keep this in mind. This is when I was like basically going to court. Once in a while. I'm not getting into this situation. So I was stressed out. So during that time, it was just traumatizing. During that time, actually, when I was like in the situation, when I wasn't like in the situation, I remember this lady who was, oh, you should go to college. I mean, get a college degree. Most people, it's just all these liberal stuff. I'm not getting into it. But I could tell she was basic. Looking back at it, I could tell she was liberal. I'm not saying, I'm not talking about that. I mean, it's also right reading too, but I'm not getting too political. But she's something liberal. She was, oh, you should get a college degree. Just get a college degree and you'll be fine. They gotta avoid that land trap because now it's like it's all everything's like has to be politics, which is ridiculous. But hopefully YouTube doesn't take it down. I love YouTube, I love Google, it's pretty good. But like she was talking about saying, get a degree, and then you should be fine. You get basically the way she thought is like the way she thinks is like not like a businessman. She thought like this, like if you get let me take a look at her. If you get a college degree, you could get a high paying job. You could get a high paying job and people was there telling me get a job. No, this is when I was little, so no, but I was like, oh, you should get a job and first go back to school, be in like about $100,000 in debt, which is basically stupid. At least I'm in debt right now, obviously, but that was when I was in SUNY. But at least I went to SUNY. I'm like, the thing about me in debt, like it's not a big debt, and the good thing about this debt is it doesn't go up in price. It's the same debt, so I could eventually pay it off. Obviously I got to start paying soon, but I could pay in 1 cent if I wanted to. It's not that big deal. But they're gonna keep calling me, which is annoying, stress me out. But let me get to that. But yeah, they're like, oh, you should go back to school, and you get a high paying job. Here's the problem with that. I was ready in school. I dropped out because first and foremost, school was expensive. Second of all, I'm broke. I can't afford it. So, and third of all, I just didn't like school. I didn't like school. I just didn't like it. I didn't. No, I don't say I don't dog on school as much, but unless you be like I said, unless you be a doctor, or I say like unless you be a doctor or a lawyer, or if you want to be like a CEO of a company, like a corporate company. Well, even then, I'm technically a CEO because I own Mount Lena, but unless you're like a CEO of like a finance, unless you're doing finance or doctor or like lawyer, you go to a degree, or business degree, but or degree in doctor or whatever. But for me, I'm doing technology. I do technology, so it's kind of different. It's like there's certifications, and I know I have brothers who are like, oh, why would you do that? People hated me so bad. But how do you feel about that, Melissa? How do you feel about that? How do you feel that I have what how do I feel that I've become slowly become well known? I don't have million subscribers. I'm not bragging because I have millions. I don't have million subscribers, but I'm slowly becoming well known. You know, and I'm actually more happier than I was in 2022. But back to my story. Sorry about that. Oh Jesus Christ. Back to a story. So during that time, I think I was transported. Then there was this lady. Let's name her Versio. Versio was pretty cool. She was awesome. The only problem with Versio, it's not her fault. I want. She's good, but the problem is like I said, this is during the time I was really stressed out about the question and everything. I didn't know what the hell was going on because I was homeless. Basically, I had the paper evidence, but I'm not gonna show you. But I was just very stressed out. I was really stressed out. For instance, I remember back then. What's it called? I remember she was like, oh, it's gonna be okay. She was probably the only one that actually understand me really well. I got credit. Versio, what else? There's some good people. Versio, um, the other guy. I forgot the guy name. Let's go. The other guy, Chris, was good. The therapist, Chris. No, not about the guy. The old therapist. The therapist I had. Well, let's say them Joey. Joey, the therapist, are. Well, he really name's Chris, but it's too complicated. I'm sorry, because I have a roommate. You know, I'm not getting into it, but I have a therapist. Back then, different. Let's name it Jess. Yeah, that's what I should name it. I had a therapist named Jess, which is interesting. And then I had a therapist named Yana, who was also very. I'm not gonna lie, she was kind of attractive though, very attractive. But like I said, she eventually left because we'll get to that. Sorry. I got lucky basically. So during 2020 yeah, during May. Let's get to May. So May happened. Uh so I think it was May. So May, I basically moved it. I went to court. Obviously we weren't doing, but when I went to the shelter, or I call it till, but I call it shelter for the sake of it. When I went to the shelter, for instance, I remember this is a routine. The routine I had to usually do is I had to go to the drop. I had to go to the drop and I had to go to basically wake up. I think around 8:30. It wasn't crazy early. It wasn't like 5 o'clock. Luckily, it was just 8:30. This is why when I went Monero, I want to donate to the homeless, to just fix the homeless because they shelter so fucked up. But they gotta fix it. Or the till. I'm sorry, my microphone's breaking out. They should fix it because it's ridiculous. But let me see. Is my microphone on? I'm sorry, my microphone keeps messing up. I'm sorry, bro. I am so sorry right now. Oh yeah, the AC's on, which is cool. That microphone's on, good. But like I was saying, when I was in oh come on, stop doing this. Oh come on, bro. I hate when the microphone disconnect. I'm just gonna disconnect this. I'm just gonna disconnect the my headphone jack. Sorry about that. I had to disconnect my headphone jack because the problem with the laptop, it works, but like I said, like if I disconnect the headphone jack, not a big deal. But at least the laptop works. Okay, like I was saying, so back in 22, I wasn't like a shelter, like I was saying. All right, let's look at the names. Well, now the first person is Melissa. Now Melissa was the type, like she was all negative, like she was not positive. Like I'm gonna take it brief. If you want to be if you want to do the work, if you want to be miserable and be grumpy, like I thought that people, I didn't think that. I think she was a demon. I don't hate her on too much, but I don't hate on people too much, but I really think she was from Satan. I think she was Satan himself. I think I might have met Satan. That's how I was with Melissa. I thought Aisha was bad. At least Aisha kind of cared, like she was trying to help me. No, like you know what's worse than Aisha? Melissa. But she's like Aisha, triple times 10. I'll probably kiss back to Aisha. I mean, at least Aisha, I was younger. She probably be better, but Melissa, holy shit. Now I don't look. I know like people like, but man, if you hate on Melissa, I don't hate on Melissas. Okay, I bet some beautiful Melissas. Not all Melissas are bad, but like I think she probably the type to ruin the name for every Melissa. So I mean, also just traumatized me of like every viewpoint of like people. I mean, this has got me to the concept of like being like kind of a little bit racist, but I'm not gonna. I'm joking. That was a joke, but it got me very like. It got me changing my perspective. Like now, like I might think like I'm not even political, but you get the point. It kind of got me like very critical of like the AFRIC community basically, or the black or the BLAK Oh no, BLACK. Yeah, that's what it is. BLACK community, basically. The BLACK or the Bob Lob A cop community, basically. I want to send this for YouTube because I don't think of hate speech, but I let me get critical of it and just like it just got me annoyed about the bullshit of it. But I'm not getting into it. But like I was saying, so during that time there was this person named Melissa. Now Melissa was a type like I don't know what was on her mind. I think she was Satan because she was all negative. Like I felt like I was working for a slave. I felt like slavery. Uh, no wonder my life path number is 8, and I just felt rejected because I did my life path number and it was 8. Also, fun fact: Send up a chai life path number is 8, so it makes sense why Google love my content. You know what I'm saying? And have a meeting with them. It's just also they're a very good company. I'm just kidding. It's not propaganda, but it's good. Google needs Google to be good. When Molly needs to be good. You know what I'm saying? But after the story, but Lissa was the type to be negative. Now the first instance of this was like when I first came there. I think I had to do chores. I had to do chores. I had to do a lot of chores in the house. During the time we had a chore schedule, they treated us like babies. Now the place I'm in now, they still do. Well, the place I'm in now is way better than the other place. However, like I said, they still treat you like babies. It's not like you kind of independent, but they like okay, don't do this certain time. But you get like at least there's no curfew. I don't have to worry about that. So to me, coming from a place like a shelter, we had no like it was just really strict. Like you couldn't do anything. You had no freedom basically. While this place, while it's much, while it's like lenient, you have freedom. It's good. It's actually way more freedom. But downside is like you can't like let's say like it's not easy to move out. It's hard to move out, and also it's harder. Well, you can move out, but it's harder to how to explain it. It's harder to like do what you want. Let's say like you break your computer, and then you're basically I'm responsible for it, which is debatable. But you basically have to be lucky. But so far it's good. God's on my side. It's pretty good. But my other place, it was just terrible. But listen to it. Like I was saying, back in 2022, there was a person named Melissa. Melissa was a type where like if you even if you do everything good, you had to be like basically like 1984. You had to be basically perfect. It was like 1984. You had to be basically perfect, perfect. And if you screw up one moment, like you could be like Jesus himself. You could be doing really good stuff like Jesus, and it's just all negative. You don't get rewarded. You don't get no rewards. Like I know. Maybe because I was raised by a spoiled mom. I was raised by a spoiled mom. I give credit to my mom, but I didn't get nothing. I just worked because just to learn something. Like I get it. You got to do your chores. I get it. You got to do your chores, which my mom does chores. I mean, I get it. But like, now here's the thing with the shelter. Like it's just like, see, it was just all about punishment. So back in the day, in 2020, it was all about fractions. So for instance, I think like the way it works, it was kind of like YouTube. YouTube you get 3 strikes. Well, at least YouTube's more lenient. You get a warning. In the show, there's no warning. So the thing works like it's complicated. So let's say you can have popcorn videos. So if you watch popcorn videos, I'm not gonna say the name. What I'm saying YouTube. If you watch popcorn videos, or Papa Rocknut videos, you can watch it in the or corn videos. Corn 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 videos or popcorn videos. If you watched it in the tail, you most likely get kicked out. You can't do it. Which I'm not gonna talk about that, but maybe next time. But let's talk about Melissa again. So Melissa was the type that if you messed up one time, if you like basically, for instance, let's say if you basically how do I explain it? If you basically make a mistake once, you get a refraction. I think if you get 3 refractions. If you get 3 refractions, like it was like YouTube but stricter. At least YouTube is lenient. They help you. You can they're good. I love YouTube. I actually partner with YouTube. It's good, and that's how I got my advertisement on music channel. But like on the tail, like it was like 3 strikes. It was like baseball. So if you like, but worse. Like there was no warning. So like there's no warning. Like on YouTube, at least you get warning. On the tail, there's no warning. So for instance, let's say like you I think there's 3 refractions. If you get 3 refractions during the time you stay there, it doesn't matter. Like, you can stay there for years. 3 refractions. At least on YouTube, you could use a different website. Not a big deal. But the thing is, keep in mind, if you're homeless and you're screwed, if you have 3 refractions, you get kicked out. They kick you out, which is really it's really dystopian. I understand like if you're a bad person, maybe. But like even good people like get kicked out all the time. I mean, for just some reason. Let's say you watch corn videos, but you're a good person, but you're just addicted to corn videos, or popcorn videos. You could get kicked out and screwed. I mean, that was the risk of that. But But yeah, you can get kicked out of that, and there's many ways you get. There's many dumb ways you can get kicked out. Like for instance, like if you go past curfew, like I understand curfew is the issue. Yes, I understand curfew, but like, bro, we're not in like 1984. We're not in like we're not in 1998. Where like okay, obviously it's bad now, but I understand like curfew safety. But like, come on, come on. I was gonna talk about that. How I may have made a video how I got lost in Brooklyn, and I don't even know how I got back because if I would have got stuck in Brooklyn, I would have been screwed. And they didn't even care. I had to figure out my way back there, which also gave me more confidence, was good, but literally scared my mom and scared my other people. But yeah, let's come to it. But yeah, so basically what I do, I'll go to the drop-in and back. Pretty good. Let's talk about the drop-in. The drop-in section, pretty good. I still go to the drop-in sometimes, pretty good. I just do my laundry sometimes. I mean, if I ran out of clothes, I just go to drop in and do my laundry. They're pretty good. I hope I'm still in the system. I don't know, man. I haven't gotten in a while because the heat. But hopefully at some point I could probably do my laundry again because my clothes get sticky. So I usually go drop in and do a laundry, which is pretty cool. It works really well. I don't hate on dropping. Dropping's pretty good. I also had some good stuff there. Most of them pretty good in dropping. So it was a gift and a curse out of the way. So, but like within the dropping, it was good. I mean, there's this lady I gotta say. What's her name? There was an older lady, pretty smart. She's right. I mean, she was a good person. She was very good. However, she was like Southern. She was very Southern. Very Southern. I like Southern. I'm not gonna lie, I like Southern people. They're pretty good. Obviously strict, so you gotta be careful with that. I try to be on the good side, but I forgot her name. But what's her name? I forgot my name. I'm losing my memory's messed up, but I forgot her name, but she was good. She was very good. She was really wise, very smart. Also there was another person too, which is good. Renee. I don't know if it was Renee. No, not Renee. I don't know her name, but she was also very supportive. I think she had glasses. Like she was on point. I mean, the drop in staff was probably better than the tail staff in my opinion. Oh, besides Valcio and the other lady and the other lady, they were pretty good. I'm not dogging on the people. The drop was pretty good, despite the troubles. But like I said, it appears debatable. But go back to the story. So I skipped some parts. Oh shit. So I remember I met this lady. She's pretty good. She actually subscribed to my channel recently. She subscribed to my channel a while back. And that's Valentina. So I'm gonna give a shout out to Valentina. Valentina, if you're watching this, like thank you for being the one supporting me during my downest moments. I'm really thank you for supporting me. I know you probably have a boyfriend now, so that's fine. I'm not not hating on that. It's fine. But thank you for very supporting me, Valentina, on the channel. I hope you watch my channel. I don't know if you watch my videos because my channel's a mess, so obviously. But thank you for very supporting me all my life. I'm supporting me during my lowest moments, and it's good. It really helped me. But thank you very much, and I want to donate to help you guys back. But that's cool. Also shout out to Rocio for basically being on point and just being lenient, at least lenient with me, because I think what I did too, back in the day it was strict. Okay, when I first came here, she was kind of strict a little bit. She didn't know me, so she thought it was like, put this in perspective. Imagine me randomly come out in the public spot. They could think like you're just broke or you were intelligent, but luckily I gained trust to some people. Rocio was pretty good. No, I don't think Rocio. The names get confusing because I'm gonna get mixed up with some other people but Rocio or Rocio, I don't know, Rocio or Rocio, I don't know what it is. But she was Italian. She was good. She was a good person. I mean, I probably talked to her the most because she was just, I don't know, she was very positive. Even though she was kind of like negative, it was just an environment. Like if she was in a positive environment, she'd probably be more happier. She was really good. Oh, 444 right now. Oh, cool. It's 444 right as recording. I'm very grateful. 444 right now. Oh yeah, Angel's numbers. It's 444 right now. Pretty cool. All right. But like I was saying, so during that time I met Rocio. She was pretty cool. She's pretty cool. We talked a lot. She was probably the one that comforted me and gave me confidence a little bit. She basically comforted me. Like it's gonna be okay. Don't worry. She's good. Also, other people was pretty good. I probably forgot some people because my memory's so messed up. I've been focused on me. But yeah. Like I was saying, back to Melissa. So Melissa was the type to be all negative. It was so bad to the point. Like this is how you know if you're a bad person. When you have other staff, when you have other staff in the whole system, like Rocio, like everyone, just stating like, oh my god, you're negative. Like when you have a negative vibe, even the staff too was like hated on Melissa. You're fucked up. I'm sorry, curse. Sorry, you fucked up. You're really bad. You're bad. That's like worst case scenario. That's how you fucked up. When for instance, you just like basically, you just negative, all negative. So, So then I think what happened was after that, I had to go dropping back and forth. Like I said, it was very stressful. So let's skip some parts because I don't want to make this video too long because this is over like basically an hour. Um, so basically I won the court situation, blah blah blah. But let's get to my first confrontation with people. The first part of the story and the first one, and that is what was the first one? My man Brian, Brian. If you're watching this, oh my God, how do you feel? How do you feel criticizing me? I mean, I know you hate me for saying I'm dirty. I love all people. I don't hate you. I still love you in a mutual way of like all people. I love all people, you know. But how do you feel of just like criticizing me all the time? You know, like I basically become a monopoly. I'm not bragging. It's just like I lost so much confidence because of design, you know. But like Brian, how do you feel? I mean, how do you feel that you keep basically like just bothering me, harassing me, and now I gotta meet him at Google. How do you feel? And even Melissa too, and even Aisha. But how do you feel, you people that hate on me? Back to what I'm saying. Back to Brian. So Brian was the type was just all negative, all negative. I'm saying names. I don't care. I really don't care. I'm just giving my life. Brian was the type of well, it's just all negative, all negative, all negative. For instance, like I don't know what it was, but I knew he was just like at first we were cool. We were pretty cool in the beginning, obviously. You know, we were cool. You know, I tried to say my own thing, but this is when it took a dark turn. I don't know what's over. I realize now. I realize I have a special gift, and that's design software, being more efficient, programming things. Because no wonder, and also my IQ is like 118, so no wonder society just literally ridiculed me and called me like the Antichrist. Like I think society thinks me like the Antichrist, you know, like of everything. This is definitely a premiere, by the way, on YouTube, but like, there's no wonder people think I'm the Antichrist on YouTube. So, back to what I was saying. So Brian was the type where like he was like, well, I obviously I kind of stink a little bit. I'm still figuring it out, but he would just bash on me all the time. He rapped too. I mean, I gotta admit, he can rap, but I think what matters more, and most people rap. I'm not getting too expensive, but people rap. Okay, you get it, but you have to be a good person. If you're a good person, then I'll listen to you. That's how I feel. But if you're a bad person, if you're like satanic, I think Brian was like from like the devil or something like that. I don't know what it was. But he was just all negative. One thing he was from the hood, so I don't hate people in the hood. There's probably some few people pretty good in the hood, but I'm not saying all people. But like most people, they care about God. They care about the fame, or they just like or just really negative, or they care about the street life, you know. I probably yes, like I said, I understand he got into trauma, he lost everything, he probably didn't have a family. I'm not dogging him, you know. I got lucky, you know. I gotta admit that, but there's no excuse to be. There's some people, yes, he was actually worse than people, you know, that were homeless, yes, you know, but they're credible people. They're very smart people, you know. You know, they're very smart people. So, like, there's no excuses to be a negative person despite having troubles. You know, back then, old me, I was like, oh, I feel bad. Okay, not a big deal. But I realized you just basically said, you kind of deserve it because, like, you know, if you're being negative, even to me, I'm a good person. And here's the thing I learned about in the future, which I love God for this. I love Jesus. I love God. I love angels for this, you know. You know what I learned? I found out recently that I was the chosen one. It makes sense why, because I went through so many hardships, you know, and I could tell the people everything I did, you know. Basically, if you name it, I went through everything in my life, you know, everything, you know, trauma. When it comes to trauma experience, I went to everything, you know. Never experience today, you know, 2017. Being homeless, 2022. Being in foster care, 2009. Having bipolar, 2011. You know, meant to break I went through everything probably. I'm like the Brooklyn Tea guy, everything. But that was in the Brian. So Brian was the type to like be very he was just mean. He was really mean. He didn't like me. He did not like me. In the beginning we were cool. You know we call it the honeymoon stage in the beginning. But then he hated me so bad to the point that like it led to a weird argument. Actually twice. There's two people. I don't know. Let's name the other person. Let's name another person. Batty. Batty was the type to like. Batty was the type. The other person named Batty. I don't remember his name, but I don't want to attack his name because you know I don't want him to attack. Batty was the type like he would just get drunk all the time. Let me reverse it. I'm sorry, YouTube. Sorry, YouTube. He would get hydrated all the time. Like hydrated. He would drink like not drink like you know water. He would drink water. I'm trying to censor this for YouTube because YouTube they're about the video, but he would just basically get hydrated all the time. Like hydrated all the time in like the shelter. It just leaves it just oh god. I don't know how I survived that, to be honest. I don't know how they even disappear, from the Matrix, So he would just get like basically this drink. He would just not drink. He would get hydrated all the time. It was just really bad, very bad experience. And then he get in arguments, and then he gets to stuff, and then it was and then he also criticized me. Oh, you've been chewing with your mouth open, and then we got in arguments. Like it just never went. So, and then he also stole food from me when I had food and food stamps. When I had food stamps, when I was basically really broke to the point when I had to have a lot of food stamps, because it was literally a shelter. I was basically they helped me set up, which is great. Had to set food stamps. Then they kept stealing food from me. I kept losing food, so basically sometimes I basically would eat till the next day, and I basically would spend thousands of dollars on food, and I'd be basically broken the next. It was oh god, it was terrible. But back to Brian. It's the last time. But then Brian basically had an argument with me. He said, "Oh, you didn't take showers," or I think it was a mess. It was a mess in the room. It was a mess in my room. I don't know what it was, but not a mess in my room. Actually, my room was clean. Here's the crazy part. My room in the shelter was the cleanest. It is the cleanest to this day, and people love me for that. Which I try to make it look good. But I think it was the time when the bathrooms in the shelter was basically dirty. It was basically crappy, really crappy, very crappy experience. Very crappy experience. It was the worst thing. It was like toilet. It was bad. It was terrible. Very terrible. It's just the problem with the bathroom. It just keeps getting dirty. See me, I live the current place I'm in now. The bathroom it's not that dirty. It's decent. It's not the dirtiest. I clean it once in a while, but I know how to maintain. At least I don't pee on the toilet seat. See, this time there was pee on the toilet seat. There was hair everywhere. It was worse. It was bad, terrible. Here I don't know. I don't, but I help. We work well. My acquaintances, we worked something out, and it works. It just works. It's better. But this might not be home. But at my other place, it was oh god, the toilet was dirty, pee everywhere. Oh god, it was just disgusting. And what I usually do, it was my fault too, back a lot, but I had to do it because I didn't want to get infraction. So they could put me in my position. So the thing with the rule is in the till or the shelter, it was like if there's one mess in the shelter, if there's one mess in the room or whatever. Everybody has to clean it. Everybody has to clean it. Like if there's one mess and nobody cleans it, then you're all getting in trouble. So that means literally during that time I had to clean everything. I had to clean the shop. I had to clean everything. I had to clean the bath. I had to do everything. So I was basically doing everything, but I was basically keeping it up to date. Barely, and I couldn't handle it more because like the problem is like most people weren't doing it. They weren't doing the chores. I was probably the only one doing the chores. That's why we had to change the toilets eventually. But I was doing like everybody's chores because nobody was just. It was just dirty. Oh god, I don't know how I survived that, to be honest. Back to Brian though. So Brian basically had an argument with me about what was it called the bathrooms. So when I was in the bathroom, he was like, he said the bathroom's dirty, and he just yelled. He argued me. He just said, and he basically said, I want to fight you. I'm like, I don't want to. Like he was like, why are you fighting? Like this. Meanwhile, this is when I was like. I think I was like 19, maybe 19 years old. So he's fighting a 19-year-old, which I don't know if that's legal. I don't know if that's legal, but he's 16, so it's just weird how a 16-year-old fights at night. It's just stupid. Why would you do that? But I couldn't. I'm not trying to get kicked out. The thing with the shelter, what the loophole, that you if you fight once, the thing is, yes, there's 3 strikes, but if you fight once, you get kicked out. So if I get into a fight, I would despite even if you defend yourself. So you could defend yourself. If you get into even in one fight, even if you defend yourself, you both get kicked out. Like it doesn't it's not like one person no, you both get kicked out. That's how bad it was. It was oh god, I don't know how to survive it. So what I did is I didn't want to fight. And first, luckily I didn't know how to fight. Well, not. Luckily I didn't know how to fight. So I could say so God forbid I get abused. I could sue and win. But. Probably sue eventually, but to get my profits. But back to what I was saying. Eventually, I had to go to. Basically, I had to go downstairs to the laundry room and just hide. I had to hide. I had to basically hide from this guy because this guy was going to attack me or basically kill me. I don't know if he was going to shoot me because he was from the hood. I didn't know if he was going to shoot me or kill me. I didn't know what he had. He was a dangerous guy. I don't know. I'm pretty sure my mom. I didn't tell my mom this because my mom was my mom was probably worried about that. Really worried. Like I have crazy. This is a crazy story. I'm gonna tell everything. This is a premiere. But my mom was, worried. So I didn't tell my mom this because I didn't want my mom to stress about this. Because I know my mom. Like right now, my mom's sick, so I'm not telling this because I keep it to myself. But for you guys, you get this exclusively. But like I was saying, so Becca, he was just trying to attack me, harass me, and just like I had to hide myself. I had to hide, and I was like, oh god, I couldn't. So, and I had, and basically, the staff was like, okay, come here, I'll keep you safe, and he kept me safe. Luckily, I think it was Rocio who kept me safe. Rocio kept me safe, or George too. George was pretty good, despite different opinions. George was pretty good too. George kept me safe, and he calmed down, so we good. It worked out. And then eventually got kicked out. He got kicked out because for that. So yeah, that was great. That was great. That was not great. That was terrible. But all right. Next story. The third story. The most. Now the second story. Now the second story is about a staff. Let's talk about Hansa. Now Hansa was the type. Okay, so originally I thought Hansa was pretty cool. Now looking back of it, I don't know how you typically feel about it, but he was the P word. Yeah, he was basically the P word. We had a P word who was working, who was also the case manager. So this is after when Melissa basically became a staff instead, like a staff, because obviously she used them terribly. So you know what the company did? Okay, let's hire someone who's a potential P word. I can't say you use the P word, and who loves cop hop I lop dop. To like the pop, like who is a popper. I'm trying to censor this for YouTube. The P word of the popper, and just basically like a pseudo. I gotta censor it. Like a pseudo. Yeah, there we go, pseudo. I can't say it because who basically said, who was like, who basically it's creepy guy. You know what I'm talking about. The P word. So basically, what happened was, I didn't know about this, so most stuff was like, okay, it's gonna be okay. No, I don't know what it was, but he was like, okay, hey, I'm your new case manager. I honestly thought he was cool. We talk about computers, which is cool, which was stupid. Now looking back at it, it's kind of stupid. Don't talk about dumb stuff, but he was pretty cool. Oh, I forgot one thing else to tell you about Melissa's story. So one last thing before we move on to Han's situation is Melissa was the type to be, like I said, she was negative, but there's one thing before I had to meet him at Google, I think in August of 2022. I had to meet him at Google. And I told the hey, I have a meeting with Google. I'm trying to do my thing. I'm trying to do good. So a normal person would be like, oh, I'm proud of you. I'm good. Congratulations. I'm happy for you. Like my mom, proud of me. Everyone else, proud of me. But can you believe what the Bob I Top Cop Hop said? She was like, be careful with Google. Sorry, this is a fire alarm. Jesus Christ, this is a fire alarm. Sorry about that. Let me let this pass a little bit. Come on, keep going. Keep going. I'm sorry about that. But like I was saying, you know what she stated? She was like, be careful to give trade secrets. I don't know. She said, be careful Google because maybe they go copyright or take just all negative. I'm like, bro, it's Google. They pioneer copyright claims. I mean, look, my content is copyrighted. Like, even if I gave this some company that gave, oh god, it just didn't make any sense. It was just all negative. So I don't know why she says so. But Melissa was like, be careful who you tell to Google because Google may take all your copyrights. Like, just like negative, just basically discouraging. Like, most people will be like, I'm happy. You may work with Google, because I love Google. Google's pretty good. Like, let's say God forbid Google buys my company and let's say God forbid they legally can't take, can't take trade secrets, because, they break the law, there's legal against that, here's the thing, my work is open source and copyrighted. So God forbid they take it, they get a copyright claim. My new music has a copyright claim, so it's not a big deal. Like, I don't, it's, I don't know, it's just weird. It's just a weird statement. And then I went to the meeting with Google, pretty good. The lady, I'm not gonna lie, the lady from Google was pretty attractive, very good. Made me think of a song. I made a song eventually, recently, but the lady was pretty attractive. She's really hot, Now I got another Google meeting on the 14th. Hopefully it works out. Hopefully I get the job at Google or work at Google. Hopefully it works out. Right now I can't work with Google. But I want to work with Google one day. So or have a company with Google. So it's cool. That's what I was saying. But next to Hansa. So like I was saying, Hansa was the type. He basically the P word. So what happened? Exactly happened is that I'm not gonna talk about the story about how I got lost in Brooklyn because I told that video. I told that video over there. Over there, I already told about that over there. About how I got lost in Brooklyn. You can check that video out. I may do it link below. Back to a story. So when I was in the shelter, I remember there was a guy named Hansa. So Hansa was the type. I'm sorry, my nose is killing me. So I remember Hansa was the type of like, oh, he seemed cool at first. Like I think he said he was like a black hacker or gray hacker, and I told him I was like a white hacker. I try to. I'm a white hacker. I look for security and fix things. I program things to do good. I wanted to do a good for humanity. I tried to stay away from gray hacker, but he was the type to be a gray hacker. So that was the first red flag. If people say you're a gray hacker or a black hacker, that's a gray area. That's a gray area. I mean, most people, if they're like into computers, they would say, "Oh, I do good. I'm a white hacker," or like they do good. If they're black, if they're gray, even a gray hacker, I mean, you may think, oh, okay, that's not be dope. That's a red flag. That means that person's evil. Okay, I'm telling you, they will shut down the system. They will hack you. So, but yeah, I thought he was cool because we talk about computers. He was the only one who talked about computers. Pretty cool. I thought he was cool back then, but now, I don't know. But that hurt a lot. That really hurt. That kind of scared me now looking back at it because he could have done the same thing to me. You know. But let's go to the crazy story. So what happened was I was hold on, there's an ambulance again. Okay, like it sounds like we're in Europe. You know, I'm in Europe right now, so that's why you have different ambulances. I'm in Japan right now, that's why you have little ambulances. I'm in Japan right now, it's pretty cool. You hear ambulances. I'm joking, that was a joke. Like I was saying though, so when I was in the shelter room. Okay, like I was saying, back to Hansa. So Hansa was what happened. The rumor started. It was a rumor first. Then we found out it was actually factual. And so what happened was one day, I was trying to apply for therapy. I was trying to go to therapy. I was got stuck at work. I got back, but I don't have any video. So skip some parts. So what happened was Hansa was like I think what happened was I didn't see Hansa for me. I didn't see meanwhile he's my case manager by the way back then. I haven't seen Hansa in a while. He was like, oh, what happened, Hansa? And he just basically disappeared, and he just basically disappeared, and it didn't happen. And then later on we found out from the staff, not from the staff, not from the administration, no, from the staff, that oh, he just disappeared. He disappeared. His therapist was like, oh, he disappeared. He's fine. He's coming back. But what people don't know is that what I didn't know is that the therapist lied. I mean, yeah, I understand Giannis trying to keep it safe because it's shady. So, also this is during the time when Yana and everybody left. Everybody just started leaving. So it was his fault. It was like rocket ship. I had to leave soon somehow. So keep in mind, I keep in mind by August 14th, 2021, like this year, if I would have stayed there, I probably would be screwed. I'd probably be an adult social. We'd be way worse, you know. So I had to leave somehow. I had to eventually get out of here. This is during the time also the court situation worked out, and we won the court case. I could visit my parents, it was good. But I had to eventually leave that shelter. That was the next thing I had to fix. I had to fix that. But we'll continue. So then Hansa was like, well, no, I think it was the staff was like, I think it was George. George was like, no, yeah, George was like, yeah, the reason why he left is because he was just texting some people, you know, some girls. I'm gonna say he was doing the P word, the pop things, the popping things, you know, to the young people, you know. I can't say because you know YouTube is really hazy with that. They were the Muslims video. So yeah, that's what happened, and that's why he left. So yeah, he was basically a P word. Wow, my life has been nothing but impossible odds. Hold on, let me sneeze. Let me blow my nose. I'm sorry, my nose needs a sneeze. Hold on, let me blow my nose. I'm sorry. Let me take a break real quick. Hold on. Let me blow my nose. I'm sorry about that. Oh shit, let me blow my nose. Oh shit. Okay. Whew. Sorry about that. I had to take a break. I had to blow my nose because it's hot. Getting sick a little bit. But like I was saying though, yeah, Hansa basically got kicked out. So now, well, to my last final nightmare story. You ready for the nightmare story? And that was basically the 22,000 situation. Now I'm not getting into full detail about that because you know that was stressful and stuff. I didn't know how I feel about telling about the story because you know, let's be honest, that was probably the most stressful situation in the shelter. So let's get to the story. So so after that, like I said, this was after the Brian situation. So there was a kid, right? There was a kid. I'm not gonna say his name because he still knows me. He probably knows me, and I don't want him to come after me. So let's put him. Let's name it Joseph. So Joseph was the type where like he was just like he was like, oh, I want to help you. I want to help you invest. But where I realized he was basically another Satan himself. Like it was just so negative. Okay. So what happened was he was like, "Oh, I want to help you with the business. I want to help you with investments. So, investments. I want to help you with investments. Basically, I want to help you invest in stuff like that." So in my mind, I was like, "Okay, I thought see when I think of investments, I think of stocks, index funds. I thought maybe he's a legit business guy. Maybe he's doing it, but let's be honest, we're in the shelter, so this is not going to end. Don't do what I did. Don't like if you're new to like in finances or don't do what I did. I don't do what I did because you gonna burn so many bridges. You gonna kill your credit. Don't do what I did. That was the worst. Don't wonder my mom's sick right now. Don't do what I did. Don't do what I did. I'm not getting into the financial situation too much about it because I don't want the feds to come to my door, and also I don't want like my mom to be mad at me, or I just don't want to disappoint people because it's just very stressful. I don't want to go back to it. But what happened was I basically got scammed of $22,000. The way the scam works is that he basically had access kind of to my things, put it that way, and it led to basically a whole investigation. And I'm not getting to the end of the story. I had to create another account, and to this day, it's just been stressful to figure that out. But I'm not going to really if it's solved or not, because I'm not going to talk about it, like I said. But basically, he scammed me with $22,000. Now, the way it worked, he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna help you invest in stocks," and basically, what he was trying to do is try to fraud me. Basically, try to fraud me, and just basically void my signature. I don't know how he did it. It was so weird. It was so stupid. I don't know why I trusted him. But here's the worst part of the situation is that my intuition was telling me, "Hey, don't trust this guy. Don't trust this guy." That was the biggest mistake I've done. If I would listen to my intuition, probably be less stressful as now. But luckily, I got a fortune cookie that financial hardship is going on, and so hopefully, maybe I get a respawn back. But it just hurt. Like to say, it just stressed me out. But it gives me PTSD. So now, what I do now, I'm like now the minute people are like, "Oh, can I get your card? Can we do the Ami Pay? Can we do the crypto scam? Can you give me like no?" I'm like, hell no. Anything with money, I actually don't. When it comes to money, I don't talk about that. I don't talk about money with people. If I have a girlfriend, we're definitely not sharing accounts. We're definitely not doing that. So also, I rather have more control of it. I'm not sharing accounts. I'll definitely talk. Well, obviously with your girlfriend, you gotta talk about. I'll talk about financials, obviously. But I'm not gonna like share accounts. I'm not gonna do the sharing accounts. I'm not gonna do joint accounts. I'm gonna build credit, do it my own way, build credit, be smart with it, don't be stupid, and save money too. Invest the proper way, not the scammy way. Just try to. Oh God. But keep in mind, this is the same guy who he was like, "Oh, I saw you." I thought he was just an enemy. He's trying to distract me, but he was like, "Oh, I defend you. I'll help you." So and maybe I can help you eventually since you did good. And it was just I don't know. To this day, I don't know if I think he was because here's the worst part about that. When I was in the phone with like Chase Banks or the phone number with the bank, I'm not gonna say the bank name, but the bank. They were like, "Oh, what was it with the bank?" Oh, I'm trying to think. When I was on the phone with the bank, it's just weird stuff. It was just complicated stuff. He was like, "Oh, I'm gonna try to help you," and this bullshit. But it's just a scam. Yeah, it literally traumatized me. It was just all negative, bro. All negative. L's all the way. So then, finally, did it stop? Yes. Well, kinda. Well, I'm still recovering from that trauma. So that's the biggest. I'm not getting too defensive with it, obviously, because my mom watching my channel. It's just stressful, let's put it that way. But then, let's go to the end of the story. I know it was like a 2-hour story. Wait, 1 hour? I thought it was 2 hours. But let's go back to now. Let's go to January. So January happens, and they were like, okay. Let's basically it was Melissa. I think it was like the lady, but Melissa left. But I was looking for a place, and then finally, scary. Scary. On Friday the 13th. Well, first I went to a meeting. I went to a meeting to find like an independent living place. The place I'm going right now. Went to find an independent living place. I think it was like Friday the 13th. It was the meeting. I was scared during that time. I was like, okay, maybe I'm worried that it may be like hell like again. But what's crazy? 13 is actually my lucky number. I know people say it's unlucky. In my opinion, I never had bad. I never saw demons on it. It's good. It's a good number in my opinion. Never had problems with it. Oh, I forgot to mention that when I was going to drop in sometimes, I saw some signs from Google. I remember I also saw a Google Street View car, which is pretty cool and pretty amazing. I saw it was like a Google Street View car, which is the best thing I've saw. Yes, I basically saw Google Street View car, which was pretty cool. So yeah, I saw Google Street View cars, which is pretty cool and amazing. I love it. So I was lucky, man. But the story ends where in I think Friday the 13th of January on 2023. That's when it was over. I did a meeting with the independent living. This is another time I thought I was going to get rejected. I thought I was going to get rejected. Luckily, I got accepted. I got lucky. And then eventually, I think around February the 8th, which is a lucky number, by the way. Like, awesome. It's crazy. It's my life path number 8, so I thought it was gonna be over. I thought maybe I would be, maybe it's not gonna last longer, and I'll be broke. Then I finally moved to this place. I was like, oh god, please tell me it's gonna be better than this. Keep in mind, I was coming from a place. It was like a shelter, so I was traumatized already. I was just, oh god, I just lost faith in humanity. But now I could sleep, I could eat, I don't have curfew, I could go anywhere. Obviously it's limited. I'm limited what I could do with the higher ups, but I could do more stuff than the shelter, to be honest. But obviously it's limited. Actually, I prefer like my own home, but it's better. At least it's better than the shelter. At least I have more free, kind of more fake freedom, more freedom a little bit. But I'm in a better place now. I'm more happy. I'm actually more happier now that I kind of went through the experience just to build myself as a person. Now I know how to travel, which is good. I can travel anywhere. I just know how to travel. It's just easier to do it. Pretty cool. But what's the crazy part of the story too? When I meet the person, they'll be like, this is what I said. This is literally how I got the higher situation. They're like, when I was interviewing, they were like, oh, like I don't know what it was, but I just had a good person. I had a good experience. I'm never gonna get the 5 stars. I mean, I'm gonna look at the reviews on the location. They were always all negative. I never had a negative experience. Maybe because I got lucky. I don't know, but it's actually better than the shelter. I went to places worse than this. This is definitely S tier, definitely. I met this lady. I'm not gonna say her name because confidentiality. Let's name her Rose. Rose, the lady, was pretty attractive. She was like, we was doing the intake. We were doing an intake of the independent living, whatever it's called, and she was like, I don't know, but she like, oh, I can tell you're smart. You're smart. Like, and I got knowledge. This. Keep in mind, this is not the first time people say that. Like first there was family members, then there was like teachers. I had teachers said that. I had teachers like from what's it called? Like from when I was in Beyond school, they said that. I had mentors. I even had a person like an acquaintance when I went to the stock exchange with the people. They gave me a kiss because I don't know, because maybe I was attracted to them. So, but before, obviously when I was in the shelter, like it was all negative. I never got validated. So when I met this interview taste, it was just I knew okay, maybe God's gonna help protect me again. So I went to the interview, right, and they were like, hi, how you doing? I'm doing good, and I think what I said, I don't know what I said, but I think first thing she said was like, oh, you speak proper, you speak really good. I'm like, really? And then after that, I said like, oh, so what do you do? What do you do for fun? And I say, I just create websites. I make software, I make games, I create websites because keep in mind, in my mind, I think that's easy. I think anybody can create a website. Well, in my mind, I think it's easy, but I realize most people don't do that. And I realized when I took the IQ test, it says 118. So that makes sense why, But my problem with me is like I could do very complex things, but when I remember back then I didn't know how to forward email. That's how like people think, oh, you're smart, but I do some dumb decisions. I don't know how I'm still alive because I do some dumb decisions. But when I said, oh, I make websites, I make games, content, and with that, it was like, oh, you know how to do that? And she was like, yeah, I just found it easy. And she was like, oh, I'm gonna put your higher level, just literally. I think she said I'm gonna put your higher level, like basically more independent, like more kind of, like, but so I was like, what? Okay, I said, okay, maybe it's gonna be like the same place, like these. Keep in mind, this when I was in the shelter. I was like, maybe it's gonna be like that, maybe. But I basically got lucky, and it was like, okay, and that was it. So I was like, okay. Then the day came, but I think it was February the 8th. I packed my bags. I was like, finally left the shelter, or the till, whatever it's called. Left the shelter till, and I moved into my new place. Best thing that ever happened to me, despite being stressful, but best thing. I went to probably the tops, not the best, but probably the top. I'm in a better place. I'm actually more happier now. Now, despite being dead, it's great. It's great. Let me see, make sure it's good. Okay, it's still okay. I thought it was something. I thought my thought. Okay, but yeah, I'm in a better place. Yeah, maybe not the wealthiest guy, but I'm actually more, when it comes to my mind, I'm just more happier now. Or keep in mind when I first moved, I was very stressful. I didn't know what's going on. But now, I'm slowly recovering. I just can relax. I'm okay. I feel home. I feel like home. I feel like home. You know, it's the first time I actually feel like home. You know what's crazy too? When I was in the shelter, before when I was in the shelter, I got a fortune cookie that says you can move to a wonderful new home within a year. I guess it came true a little bit. It kind of came true basically. It's more calmer. I can relax. I can sleep. I can do what I want. It's not perfect. Obviously, I got to do my laundry, but it works. It works. It's limitations. It's better than the shelter I was in, which oh god, it was terrible. But I just wish I got But yeah, so basically what I'm saying is that the only reason I got a higher level is because I had a website and I create games and I make software development kits. This is why you should check my games link below. I'm not sponsored, but you should check my games and content because you're missing out. If you're Lady Found Browsing, you should like it. It's pretty good. But later, I guess because I said I had a website. That's all. If I didn't say that, probably I don't know. I probably didn't get it. But then she was like, okay, what are you gonna do if you try to explain technology? Like, it was like, oh, most people do not understand technology. Which I got better at how to explain technology, so when I get it. But it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. How do I feel about 2022 overall? The year, yes, it was the worst year, yes, but there was some benefits. Like for instance, I learned how to travel because before, let's context is key. 2021, I didn't know how to travel anywhere, so now I know how to travel, which is good. So I can travel by bus, and now I'm actually more attracted to the bus. I prefer buses over cars now. I don't like cars now because of traffic. I like the bus. Bus is pretty good. You just travel. It's just good. And it's just easier now. It's way easier. So, but I was the real thankful is the God there. You gotta thank God, and God really protected me and angels. So especially angels of God. I hope I don't go to hell for the bad things I did, but I love God. God is great, and also angels are good. So amen. Really good. So I think that's gonna do it for the story time. I know it was like 1 hour, 1 hour long marathon of my storyline. I'm probably gonna title this the craziest story of when I was homeless. It was just crazy. So I'm in a better place now. I'm just happy. I'm happy now. Like I said, I'm in debt because of college, but obviously it's not too bad. It's like okay, it doesn't go up, which is good. The lady said okay, it does not go up, but you gotta eventually pay it. Obviously I gotta pay it, but it's more fun. It's relaxing. It's good. I'm in a better place now, so I'm happy. I'm kind of happy. I'm really happy. No, I'm actually happy now. I'm actually more, because I'm more happier than when I was in college, which is weird. When I was in college, I wasn't happy. I was stressed out. But I'm more happier because I'm more independent. It's just I have more freedom, kind of. But yeah, I think it's good for the video. I'm sorry about this long video, but this is the marathon of how. This is the premiere marathon 360 video of how I went to a shelter. So last stop. So this is the last stop of the train. Thank you for your support. I love you guys, and thank you for 147 subscribers, and say 24 subscribers on the main channel. I thank you very much. I love you guys, and I'm out. I'll be keep making music. Also making new games soon. I'm not a computer. That's good, and I'm out.